Hi guys, Josh here and welcome to FramesPerSecond. Today we're checking out the Olypus Stylus Zoom 105, which is one of the last models of stylus that they made. And this of course is a zoom one, so it's not as prestige as the MJU2 or even the MJU1 with their prime 35mm lens. But this has a 38 to 105 zoom. So because of the zoom, it's not as fast and the lens quality isn't as good, but we're going to see how this one works compared to the more prestige and way overpriced ones, and see if the more affordable zooms are just as good and will do the job that you want. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to load up some Kodak Gold and we're just going to take this around with me, and we're not going to record this episode like I usually do. It's more just going to be the photos and then me talking about it at another time. So let's go. I guess I shot more kind of just aesthetic details and houses and stuff like that with this roll, which is something I don't do a lot, but because it's COVID-19, I'm trying not to be around people as much when I'm doing photography for the moment, even though in Queensland, Australia, we're doing alright. So I could actually do some street. Now, my first impressions with the camera is I really love the size. It's very pocketable and it's quite small, especially for a camera that does have such a big zoom. And I know the prime versions are a bit smaller, but this is a really good size for a camera. The weird thing with this is that you can't really do anything with it until there's a roll of film in it. So I'd say that's the first negative, because I can't really do a lot of B-roll without wasting some shots. Another thing to be wary of is when the flash is out. If it's not up high enough, the camera won't take a photo. In order to be able to take a photo, you need the flash to be up a bit higher than when it originally comes out. And there will be some warning lights on the back. It's like an orange and green light. And so once you put that up, it will be fine and you can take photos. Now there's a couple different flash modes. There's auto, auto S, off, fill in, and night flash, I believe. And so along with that, you also have a remote counter, obviously. The lens is a 38mm to 105mm zoom, and it's a pretty solid quality lens. I wouldn't say it's amazing or tack sharp, but maybe that was just the photos I took. And most of them are nice. I will say the metering was fantastic. Most of the shots I got had pretty damn good metering. Like the dynamic range, there was still enough detail in the shadows, but also in the highlights. So whatever metering system it has worked fantastically and got me some really nice exposed shots. I did try the fill and flash on one shot and it worked quite nicely, and I don't think I really used the flash at all, but so I don't have much to say about that. I did shoot a roll of Kodak Gold, which would be most of the shots you're seeing. I also shot an expired roll of film in it that I ended up pushing just to compensate, and I guess the quality of flash is alright, but because it was a very expired roll, it wasn't exactly the most sensitive to light, so I can't really comment on the flash properly. But it's a great little camera. I will say sometimes it can take a bit too long to take a photo, but considering how well it metered the shots, I guess that might be why. And I just really like the shots I got from it. If anything, the main negative I will say is the viewfinder. The viewfinder is incredibly small and it just doesn't feel right to look out of. You really need to get your eye in there, because it just feels way too small for my liking. Main negatives is the size and brightness of the viewfinder, the fact that it can be a bit slow to take the photo, and there's a bit of delay from when you take the photo and then it winds it, or at least it feels like there is. And so I think it might have made some of my shots a little bit shaky, because I might have taken the photo and then it hadn't gone yet and maybe I moved, but I'm not 100% sure if that's what happened or not. It is meant to be weatherproof, of course. That doesn't mean chuck it in water. It's weatherproof, not waterproof. But that means if it's raining slightly, it might not be too bad. it might be good. But yeah, I guess, like I've said, the metering is fantastic, and also the size of it, and just the pocketability of it. And the fact you are able to fit a decent sized zoom is great. But of course, at the end of the day, it's just a point and shoot. It's not meant for professional use. So of course, if you do a lot of digital photography and photo shoots and just want to carry something small around with the film, you can still get some pretty decent shots out of this, and the way it meters is fantastic. But yeah, I wouldn't be trying to do any like real kind of street or photo shoots with it. This is just a fun kind of camera to just take around to parties, take around friends, maybe on a holiday, and it will do the job. But at the end of the day, other than the size of it and the functions of the flash and stuff like that, it's not really a camera that I'm that excited to own. Though I definitely did enjoy using it, and that's like the weird thing. I had fun using it, but I don't think I'll keep it. Like, I think I probably will sell this, and if you do have one, you can probably sell it for a pretty decent price at the moment. It's not as expensive as the Stylus Epic, but for a zoom, point and shoot, does a really good job, and it's pretty good quality. I did kind of drop it once and it was fine. I can't think of what else to say really about it. It's a solid point and shoot, maybe even above average, and the metering's quite good, and I like the design, the feel of it. It's a really good size, and you could easily slip in your pocket if you're a guy. I know that women's pockets unfortunately are smaller, but if you can get some big pockets, it can definitely fit in there quite nicely. But those are just my thoughts on the Olypus Stylus Zoom 105. It's a really good little point and shoot, but I just don't think it's ultimately for me, even though I did enjoy it, and I do like the ergonomics of it as well. But it is a really good quality camera, especially for what it is, and so let me know your thoughts on the images in the comments below, and if you use the camera or own it, let me know your thoughts on the camera as well. And I hope you liked the episode nonetheless, and feel free to like and subscribe as well, turn on this post notifications so you know when there's a new episode. Anyway, I'm Josh, this has been Frames Per Second. Just get out of there, shoot some film.